Hello guys, for this tutorial I'll show you how to build a simple blog site or a shoutbox. So first, open your Rails command prompt and let's create our folder and files. So to do that, we type Rails new and then the name of the project. So let's just name it here Shoutbox. So Rails new Shoutbox, and then press enter. Okay, so Rails will now create all the necessary files and install the bundles that we need for this activity. So let's just wait for it. So I guess the installation of the bundle is taking longer than expected. Uh, okay, so here we go. After the installation of the bundle, we now cd into the directory that we just made. So let's type cd space shoutbox. Oops, wrong spelling. cd shoutbox. Okay, so enter. So now inside that directory, we now generate our controller and our model. So let's type, to generate a controller, we just type Rails G, or you can type the whole word, the whole word generate if you would like. So Rails G, this is the shortcut method. Rails G controller, and then shouts. Okay, in Rails, the naming convention is the controller is always in plural form and the model is in the singular form. So the controller Rails G for generate controller, and then shouts, then press enter. It will generate the controller. This will take a little bit of time, so let's just wait for it. Okay, so it generated all the files that we need. It created for the controller. Next, let's generate the model. So the same step, Rails G for generate, or you can type the whole word generate model, then space shout. So take note that for the model, I've made the shout singular, and then press enter. So let's again wait for Rails to generate the model. Okay, okay. So it finished generating the model. Next step is, let's look at the database configuration. The database configuration is stored in the wait, let's look for it. So sites, the Shoutbox folder we just created, and db, oops, sorry, config, then database yml. So as you can see, we are using SQLite 3. So this is the correct configuration. So now let's open our migrate file. So the migrate file is located on under the Shoutbox folder. We have the db and then migrate, then this is the file. Okay, so let's create our database. So first, let's change this to self dot app, oops, dot app, and let's begin creating our database. So to create our database, let's type t, which is this letter t here, just a variable t dot string, and then the field name that we want to use, so name, and then another t dot string, let's use email, another t dot string sorry, t dot string message. So we'll use the name of the person typing the blog or the message, and then his email, and then the actual message. So let's create that, and let's create another method. So def for define, self that down. So here let's just type drop underscore table space the shouts table, should say. So be careful with your singular and plural, because Rails is very sensitive and is also case sensitive. So this is our migrate file. Let's just save it. After saving, let's go again to our console. Make sure that you have saved this file before going to your console, because we will now create the actual file or the actual database. So type rake db colon create. So let's wait to create the database. Okay, created the database. Now let's migrate the database. So rake db colon migrate. So rake db colon migrate. So let's again wait for this command to finish. Okay, so the database has been migrated. So now let's test if uh, we have a working Rails project. So let's open oops, sorry, let's open let's just open a browser. So before that, let's just type Rails S to run the server. So Rails S is the command, or Rails server is the command to run the server, and then let's just wait for a while. Okay. Okay. Now we have our server running. You'll see that we are running on port 3000. So on the browser, open a browser and type localhost colon 3000, which is the port. So what you'll see is the default page for our Rails project, for any Rails project for that matter. So this is the default page. So now we know that our project is running, and let's create a dummy data for our database. So that's the next step. So when the Rails server is running, be sure not to close this command prompt, because this is the program that runs that's currently running the server. So just minimize it and open another command prompt from your start menu. Okay, so here's another command prompt. So you'll notice that we're on the root directory, so we have to cd on the shoutbox directory. Okay, now that we're on the shoutbox directory, we'll now open what we call wait, seems like, okay, so here we go. We'll now open a Rails console. So Rails, the command is Rails C or Rails console. So let's just wait for that. We'll run the Rails console. So this is the Rails interactive console actually. So it's taking long to open. Okay, so here we go. So let's create a dummy data for our database. So how to create that? Let's just type shout is equal to shout. Make sure that the first shout is this shout is a variable and it has a small s, and then this shout is capital. Shout that new, and then parenthesis, press enter, colon name, the arrow symbol equals, and then greater than symbol, and then single quote, the name you want to use, colon, single quote, and then comma, and then enter. The next field, email, colon, single quote, then the email, single quote, close single quote, and then comma, and then lastly we have message, arrow. So the message, any message you want. Hello world. Oops, sorry. Hello world. So that's it, and then just close it, close the parenthesis, press enter. After pressing enter, we'll wait for a while, and then okay, so it said that it created this data. And now we have to save that data. So how to save? Use the variable, the small letter s na variable. So shout dot save. Then press enter. So it will save or commit the code. It will save it on the database. So if you want to enter more, you just repeat the steps. So for now, let's just use one data. So I want to check if the database has uh, has the data inside. So let's just type shout that name, enter. So it will return the name of the person saved inside. So next, that's now um, display the data of the database in the web page. So let's open our controller. So the controller is located on the controller folder. Shouts controller. Open. We'll create an action for that controller. So define index, and then we'll create an instance variable. Shout is equal to shout dot all shout. Okay, so all shouts meaning we should have we will display all the data in our database. So save this. After saving, let's go to our model file. We have to create the all shouts model. File, open. So shouts model. Okay, so define def self that all shouts. Def that all shouts, and then shout that find find parentheses colon all comma colon limit. This is actually optional, but let's just put a limit of 10 comma colon order single quote ID descending. So save it. I just save it. I forget to mention that when we were creating a database, if you have noticed, we did not create an index or a primary key. Rails automatically creates an ID or the primary key for our database. Okay, so here we go. All shouts. Okay, I think we're good. Next, we'll create a view file, because view files are not generated automatically. So first, let's create our view file. Create new file, and then file, save as. Let's go to app, and then views, and then shouts, and then let's name it index.html.erb. Save, and then on our view file, let's put this code. Okay, so this is wait, this let's just remove this. Okay, and let's remove this. Forget this. So, oops, sorry. Oops. Okay, so this is okay. Okay, so here's the code, complete code. Sorry about that. I copied the wrong code. So this should be the code. If you notice, I have class, so you can disregard this for now. You can use this for the styling later. So just save this. Okay, now after saving, let's look at our shouts index. So we have a runtime error, no roots matches. Now we have to create a root for our page. So let's go to the roots file, open, and then oops, not here, Shoutbox, then config, and then roots. On the roots, you can type this roots space colon 2 arrow single quote shouts hash symbol index, and then single quote close. Save that, and let's try it out. Wait, I forgot. We have to remove a file. So we have to remove a file inside the public folder, the index.html, because this is the default page that will appear. So we have to remove that. After removing, let's save this. Save, and let's open our let's open it up. So shouts 3000, let's just type that. Oops, sorry. Oops, yeah. Shouts 3000. So there we go. So we have the display my name, and then the hello world, the message. So now let's move on. Let's create a form where we can input the data. So this will be done inside the index. So below we'll type this. Let's type this data. Okay, so you can just pause the video to look at the code. So let's type that data, and then after that, after completing that, we'll continue. You save this, you save the file, and then let's create a controller which will create or save the data that you have typed on the form. So the code will be this. Okay, here we go. Again, just pause the oops, sorry, I pasted it to the wrong area. Paste it inside the class. Okay, there we go. So just pause the video if I'm going too fast, then save that. So if the data is saved, it will redirect back the index. If no, it will render again the index, action index. So hopefully it works. So save everything, and then what else did I forget? Did I forget something? Okay. Let's create a validation for that form. So to create the validation here, on Rails they usually create the validation on the model. So open up your model and then type this code. So just type validates and then I'll scroll it. So there you go. Just pause the video if going too fast. Okay. So just and then save. And what else did we forget? Did we forget anything else? Let's try it out. Oops. So okay. So now we have created a create. So let's change our roots again. So this won't say index. Let's use create. Save. And then open up again. Okay, so there we go. So let's try it out. So use my second name, Benedict. Oops. To down. So to go at gmail.com, and then the message hello space, and just copy it and press submit. Okay, so as you can see, the message was submitted and posted automatically on the page. So there's our simple shoutbox. So thank you. You can improve the codes, you can improve the styling by adding to the style sheet. You can add your CSS codes right here on the assets. You can see style sheets. You can put your styles here. You can just edit this and put your styles inside, and you can add your images and also your JavaScripts if you have JavaScripts. So that's it. I hope you understood the program, and thank you.